Yo, it's Man Jay.
This is Mr. Bailey.
Cabby, you are now listening to Potato Salad Radio Show at 88.1 FM CKDU. What's up, PR?
Yeah, it really comes back to, because I am kind of with, I do have like a community right now I consider really close to me. It's even on my hat.
Shout out Hali Slam.
Hali Slam. It's me, David Zink, and Rebecca Lee Thomas. We kind of run Hali Slam right now. Rebecca does the adult slam. I focus mostly on the youth slam.
Right.
And I find just like I was, when I started the slamming, it was a funny story actually. I was writing poetry and I was at Centerline Studios with Sopez, and I guess my rule of thumb is if you're in Halifax, you don't know Sopez, you're maybe doing something wrong, right? So shout out
It
to
is a good
Sopez.
test. If you ask somebody, like, do you know Sopez?
Yeah.
And if they're like, no, you're like,
That's really concerning.
that's worrisome to me.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I can trust you.
Exactly. So
He's the code word.
exactly, he is. He's the code word for every conversation, right?
Yeah, kind of.
But yeah, I used to. Well, it's actually a longer story. I basically in high school I would go to Oxford Junior High, and me and my friend Mo Green, he's a good dude. Shout out to Mo. We would work with this group of young men and break down the walls of masculinity and say you don't need Axe body spray to be cool and all that stuff.
Whoa. Like, let's slow this down a bit here.
Yeah.
So you were doing that when you were in high school?
Oh yeah, totally.
To junior high kids?
Yeah, it was.
I think that's great, and I also so that takes a lot of confidence. High school's a really rough place for being, well, in some ways I would say for being awesome, but like awesome in a way that's sort of like that once you're right out of high school you realize, hey, that person who's actually about like equality was actually the cool kid, but when you're in school, maybe the one who's talking a lot of things we don't really like might be the one who's considered cool. That takes a lot of confidence. I'm impressed. Was that something you guys just together said, let's do this, or was it sponsored by like how did it start?
I guess it does kind of start at like in the early. So I'll go back at the beginning.
Go back. Take them back. Take them way back.
So it was like
stretch out, folks. We're getting ready.
This was August 2011.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, that's 4 years
I can't even
ago.
remember that.
Oh, I can barely remember it either. So if I forget, I'll just make it up as I go on.
No one will know the difference.
No one will know the difference.
Embellish it.
But basically, I'm at a doctor's office and I step on the scale and I was 320 pounds.
Really?
Like, yeah, I was like super morbidly obese for like a 16-year-old at the time, right? And basically I was at this point where like doctors are telling me like, yo, you gotta lose this weight or you don't know how long you're gonna live. And I was like, that's really friggin' scary and sketchy to hear at 16 years old, being someone who shops at Mr. Big and Tall for back to school clothes.
Right.
That's it's definitely it's not motivating to hear. But
No.
again, it motivated me enough to lose the weight.
Right.
So what I did over the past year is I joined Taekwondo at Yang's Martial Arts. Shout out to Yang's Martial Arts. So through Taekwondo, I lost about 145 pounds.
Congratulations, man.
Thanks,
That's awesome.
man. Thank you. It was weird, just like it's like getting used to a new body, and it was really sketching me out. Like there was times, the one thing that got me the most is when you're sitting at a computer,
Yeah.
and you always think you got to push in, but then you don't have to push in anymore. That really threw me off. I was like, what's going on here?
Right,
But,
right.
Over
I
that,
wouldn't even. Interesting perspective on that. I wouldn't even think of that.
it was just the little things that build up, right? And what I want to do is I want to work with kind of youth who are going through the same things, but not just with weight, but through like other things where they might not have the answers in junior high. Like if you talk about like mental illness in junior high school, a lot of people might not like. There might not be as many opportunities to study that or to get to know themselves. So what me and Mo Green did, we went to Oxford Junior High once a week and had a class that was all boys. And basically what we did, one of the things that we did, we broke down the walls of masculinity of just living in this box where you have to be like Hulk Hogan or something and have to be really manly. He's like, no, you can just be yourself because that's who you have. That's the only person you can be, really.
Right.
All you have is yourself, and people forget to play that role.